There are rare moments in life when someone powerful crosses paths with you and instantly senses something the world around you has been too blind to see. Maybe you've been walking through life feeling misunderstood, underestimated, or overshadowed, yet your energy has quietly been speaking louder than your circumstances. This powerful person noticed that. They saw how your presence doesn't fit the room you're in, how your light is far too big for the space you're currently occupying. That mismatch is magnetic. It pulls in the kind of people who can sense destiny, who have learned to recognize souls carved out for something greater. What most people don't realize is that powerful individuals aren't drawn to noise, popularity, or superficial charm. They're drawn to frequency. And your frequency is different, it's sharper, it's elevated, it's ancient in a way that modern people rarely understand. When you walk into a room, you don't try to impress anyone, yet your energy naturally rearranges the atmosphere. This is exactly the type of presence powerful people are trained, sometimes unconsciously, to detect. It's why they watch you more than they speak. It's why they study you before approaching. They know authenticity when they feel it. This person noticed that you do blend in, even when you're trying to stay quiet. Your silence carries authority. Your stillness has weight. It's the quiet power of someone who has walked through storms and emerged with wisdom instead of bitterness. You might not say much, but everything about you says, "I survived something you can't see." That kind of unspoken strength pulls powerful people like gravity. And maybe you've been wondering why this person suddenly seems so curious about you, why they ask questions no one else asks, why they remember details no one else notices, why they show up in your space more than coincidence should allow. It's not random. It's recognition. Their spirit recognized yours before their mind could even understand why. Powerful people don't become obsessed with the ordinary. They become obsessed with what feels destined, rare, or spiritually set apart. Before I move on, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like the world around you was too small for who you are becoming? Drop your answer in the comments so your story can inspire someone else. And if this message already feels like it's speaking to your situation, take a moment to like this video and subscribe to Mirror of the Soul for more soul-shifting insight. This powerful person didn't just notice your energy, they noticed the depth behind it. There's a wounded strength within you that can't be faked. It's the kind of strength born from battles nobody applauded you for fighting. The type that shapes your aura in ways words can't capture. When they look at you, they see someone who has been broken but rebuilt. Someone who has been abandoned but still learned how to love. Someone who has been disappointed repeatedly but did not grow bitter or small. There is a mystery to people like you. You move with humility, but your spirit carries the weight of someone who has endured a lifetime of transformation. And powerful individuals, especially those who have faced their own shadows, recognize this instantly. They see that you're not naive. You're not fragile. You're not easily manipulated. You have walked through enough darkness to become immune to superficial games. That instantly sets you apart from 98% of the population. What draws this person in is that you are both soft and strong at the same time. You speak gently, but your boundaries are firm. You care deeply, but you don't chase validation. You can love someone without losing yourself. They're obsessed because this combination is rare, especially in a world full of people who either protect their heart with walls or throw it everywhere hoping someone will care. You do neither. You walk with dignity. They also notice the way your pain hasn't made you cruel. You don't seek revenge, you seek understanding. You don't try to prove your worth, you simply live it. And that level of emotional maturity is intimidating yet irresistible to someone powerful. They know the difference between a strong facade and true inner strength. You carry the real thing. Powerful people are naturally cautious. They don't let just anyone into their circle, their energy, or their plans. But when they encountered you, they recognized something rare. You see more than you speak. Your intuition is active, alive, and impossible to fool. You pick up on micro-expressions, shifts in tone, hidden motives, and energy changes that most people completely miss. This person saw that instantly and became fascinated. What captivates them is that you don't use your intuition to control people. You use it to navigate life with clarity and compassion. You're not paranoid, but you're perceptive. You're not nosy, but you're spiritually aware. This balance is unusual, and it makes you feel safe to them in a way they can't quite explain. You don't want anything from them, you simply see them. And powerful people crave spaces where they can be recognized without being used. Your intuition also reveals the truth beneath surface-level interactions. When someone tries to hide their real intentions, you sense it. When someone's energy feels off, you distance yourself. When a conversation carries unspoken tension, you feel it in your spirit. This makes you unpredictable in the best possible way. No one can manipulate you. And that alone is enough to make a powerful person pay attention. Every powerful person has a buried part of themselves, a dream they hid, a wound they ignored, a piece of their soul they tucked away to survive. When they met you, something about your energy awakened that forgotten part of them. You didn't force it. You didn't try. Your presence simply stirred something dormant inside them, something emotional, something spiritual, something they thought they outgrew. They may even feel uncomfortable around you at first, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you remind them of a version of themselves they abandoned. The authentic one, the passionate one, the courageous one, the one who believed in destiny, the one who believed in purpose. And suddenly, around you, they feel that spark again. You unlocked a door they had sealed shut. This is where the obsession begins, not romantically but spiritually. You become a mirror not of their flaws but of their potential. You make them feel alive in a way their success never could. You make them feel inspired in a way their accomplishments failed to maintain. You make them feel human in a way their power often numbed. This is why they keep coming back to your energy, because it reconnects them with themselves. One of the strongest reasons this powerful person became obsessed with you is because you move like someone on a mission, even when you're just going about your day. There is intention in your steps, clarity in your silence, and meaning behind your smallest actions. You don't waste time. You don't chase drama. You don't seek validation. You carry yourself like someone who understands the value of their energy. This person noticed how you walk into a room not loudly but with a presence that says, "I know who I am and I'm not here to prove it." That is power, real power, and powerful people know it when they see it. They spend their lives around individuals who crave attention, but you crave authenticity. That difference hits them instantly. Your purpose-driven energy also reveals your discipline. Even if your life isn't perfect right now, you carry yourself like someone who is building towards something meaningful. Your consistency, your resilience, your silence, your self-respect, all of it communicates purpose without you ever having to say a word. You're not interested in small thinking or small people. Your spirit is focused on growth, healing, alignment, and elevation. They can see that you are not wandering, you are becoming. And that process is mesmerizing to witness up close. It makes them curious. It makes them invested. It makes them want to understand you. Because people with real power admire those who move with depth, direction, and divine timing. One of the most irresistible qualities about you is that you don't chase approval. You don't beg to be chosen, liked, or validated. You carry a quiet inner confidence that makes even powerful people pay attention. While most people adjust their personalities to be accepted, you stay rooted in who you are. This person noticed how you don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You don't pretend to be less capable, less intelligent, or less gifted just to fit in. That kind of authenticity is rare. And to someone used to being the authority in every room, your unwavering sense of self is both intimidating and captivating. Your independence disrupts their expectations. They're used to people who melt under their influence, who try to impress them, who get nervous around them, or who seek their approval like a prize. But you don't. Not because you're arrogant, but because you've lived through enough heartbreak to know that validation from others is temporary. You validate yourself. Your worth comes from a deeper place, from the battles you fought alone, from the nights you had to encourage yourself when no one else did, from the inner resilience you built through pain. This powerful person can't manipulate you with prestige, status, or charm. They can't control you with fear, subtle promises, or attention. And that's exactly why they're drawn to you. You're the first person in a long time who responds to them as a human being, not as a title, not as a role, not as a god. You aren't intimidated by their power because you've already survived things far more terrifying than their presence. This unsettles them in a way that sparks fascination. Some people walk through life carrying a frequency that speaks of destiny, a vibration that powerful individuals can sense even from a distance. You are one of those people. This powerful person didn't become obsessed because you did something extraordinary. They became obsessed because your being communicates purpose. Your energy feels aligned with something bigger, something meaningful, something that points toward a future that hasn't fully revealed itself yet. This person feels it even if they can't explain it. They feel that you're not random, that your presence in their life is not an accident. You have a kind of spiritual gravity that suggests your story is tied to something significant, something that could shift lives, environments, or even generations. This is why they watch you so carefully. They're not just curious about your present, they're curious about your future. You might think you're ordinary or unnoticed, but the truth is, your destiny has been whispering through your aura for years. It's why you've attracted jealousy, misunderstanding, and resistance. It's why people have tried to dim you, silence you, or underestimate you. And it's why this powerful person can't ignore you, because your energy feels like a prophecy unfolding. They sense the greatness you haven't fully stepped into yet. People with spiritual awareness, deep intelligence, or emotional mastery can detect this destiny vibration faster than others. Your presence feels like someone who is here to break generational patterns, lift others, or shift a collective energy. And this person, whether consciously or subconsciously, knows that aligning with someone like you is life-changing. Powerful people live surrounded by manipulation, flattery, and hidden agendas. They deal with individuals who want something from them: money, status, validation, or proximity. That's why your presence hits differently. You're honest. You're raw. You're spiritually clean. You don't pretend to care. You don't pretend to understand. You don't try to perform. You simply show up as you are. And that alone makes you stand out in a world of masks. They can feel that your spirit doesn't lie. Your energy is authentic even on your bad days. When you're happy, it's real. When you're hurt, it's real. When you're quiet, it's real. That level of emotional honesty is extremely rare, and powerful people crave it because they rarely experience it. They don't have to question your intentions. They don't have to decode your motives. They don't have to prepare defenses. They can just exist. This safety is what pulls them deeper. Your spirit gives them something they don't find easily: rest. Being around you feels grounding. There's no pressure to impress you, no need to curate their personality, no need to exaggerate their success. Your presence feels like oxygen in a world that often suffocates them. And once they feel that peace, they crave it. Obsession begins where peace is found. Most people talk too much. They talk to fill empty space, to avoid awkwardness, or to gain attention. But you speak with intention. You protect your words. You observe before you engage. You listen deeper than most realize. And your silence is magnetic. This powerful person noticed that your quietness isn't emptiness, it's depth. It's the kind of silence that holds truth, intuition, and self-control. Your silence makes people think. It makes them wonder what's happening inside your mind. It creates space for them to reveal themselves. And this person is fascinated by how comfortable you are with stillness. They are used to people who try to impress them with words, but you impress them by simply existing. Silence, when carried with confidence, becomes a form of power, and you have mastered it without even trying. Your silence also shows them something rare. You're not desperate for attention. You don't fight to be seen, and ironically, that is exactly what makes you unforgettable. You don't chase conversations or force your presence. You allow your energy to speak for you. And powerful individuals value this deeply because it signals intelligence, emotional maturity, and spiritual awareness. This person becomes obsessed not with what you say, but with what you mean, with what you think, with what you see that others don't. They replay the moments you were quiet, wondering what you were observing or feeling. Silence that carries self-respect is more powerful than any loud personality, and you embody this effortlessly. This powerful person didn't become obsessed because you are perfect. They became obsessed because you reflect back the parts of themselves they avoid. You show them qualities they lost. You remind them of values they abandoned. You expose emotional truths they buried. Not intentionally, simply through your authenticity. You are a mirror, and powerful people rarely encounter mirrors that don't distort their reflection. You reflect their honesty, their dreams, their emotional hunger, their desire for something deeper than success or recognition. Around you, they feel like their truest self, the one they left behind when they stepped into the world of responsibilities and expectations. You bring that version of them to the surface without saying a word. This reflection is uncomfortable but addictive. You're like a spiritual wake-up call, a reminder that power is meaningless without purpose, wealth is empty without connection, and success is hollow if you're spiritually disconnected. They can feel the difference between the life they are living and the life their soul is craving, and your presence amplifies that gap. Most people reflect back admiration or neediness. You reflect back truth. And truth, when it hits the right person at the right time, becomes transformative. This is why they study you, remember what you say, and analyze how you make them feel. You awaken emotions they suppressed, questions they avoided, and lessons they never expected to revisit. There's something about you that this powerful person still can't understand. You should have been broken by now, but you're not. Life has thrown storms at you that would have destroyed most people. You've faced loss, betrayal, rejection, disappointment, and isolation. Yet you walk with a spirit that refuses to collapse. They can feel this resilience in your posture, in your eyes, in your voice. It's not strength that was given to you, it's strength you earned in silence. This person recognizes that your resilience is not the loud, motivational kind. It's the quiet kind that lives deep inside your bones. The kind that kept you going when no one saw your tears. The kind that whispered, "Keep rising," when your heart was breaking. The kind that taught you how to breathe in the dark, alone, without guidance or applause. They can see that you don't just survive, you transform. And that transformation is magnetic to someone who knows how rare true inner strength is. Your resilience makes them curious. They want to know your story not out of pity but out of admiration. They wonder what shaped you, what molded you, what tested you. They see that your spirit carries both scars and wisdom, and that combination is powerful beyond measure. It tells them that you possess emotional armor that life gave you through fire. What fascinates them most is that your resilience hasn't made you hard or numb. You still love deeply. You still hope boldly. You still dream wildly. You still give people chances even when the world tells you not to. This level of emotional endurance is rare, and they can't help but study it. They want to understand how you stayed soft in a world that tried to turn you cold. This powerful person noticed something that instantly set you apart. You don't compete with anyone, not because you think you're better, but because you understand that your journey is uniquely your own. You don't measure your progress through comparison. You don't shape your identity around what others are doing. You don't feel threatened by others' success. Instead, you stay in your lane, mind your purpose, and grow in silence. Your energy communicates something rare. You are your own competition. And this is exactly what powerful people look for. They are surrounded by individuals who crave attention, who get jealous easily, who fall apart when others rise. But you clap for others without losing your focus. You celebrate without comparing. You grow without forcing. That level of self-assurance is magnetic. This person sees that your confidence isn't loud or arrogant, it's rooted in wisdom. You know that what's meant for you will arrive in divine timing. You know that rushing or proving yourself only leads to burnout. You know that inner peace is more important than external validation. And this mindset places you on a frequency that most people simply can't reach. You don't chase opportunities, you attract them. You don't beg for connections, you align with them. You don't push for recognition, your energy naturally demands it. This effortless flow is what fascinates them. To a powerful person, the most powerful individuals are those who never need to announce themselves, because their energy does it for them. One of the reasons this powerful person became so drawn to you is because you see people truly see them. You don't fall for facades. You don't get blinded by charm. You're not impressed by ego, status, or loud personalities. You look past the surface and straight into the soul. This is both disarming and mesmerizing to someone who's used to hiding behind their influence. When they speak, you listen to what they're not saying. When they move, you notice what their body reveals. When they smile, you sense whether it's real or strained. You've developed this skill not through choice, but through necessity. You learn to read energy because life forced you to protect yourself. And now, it's one of your greatest gifts. What shocks them is how calmly and gently you perceive truth. You don't confront people aggressively. You don't announce what you've noticed. You simply adjust. You distance where needed. You soften where appropriate. You lean in where alignment exists. This emotional intelligence is something powerful people deeply respect because it's not something that can be bought, taught, or faked. Around you, they feel exposed, but in a safe way. They feel like you can see their fears, their vulnerabilities, their internal battles. Yet you never weaponize what you see. You honor it. You hold it with compassion. And this makes them trust you more than they intended to. It makes them open up in ways they don't open up to others. Perhaps the most surprising thing about you is how calm you remain in the face of chaos. Your ability to stay grounded, steady, and centered under pressure is something this powerful person cannot ignore. While most people react impulsively, emotionally, or dramatically, you respond with clarity. You have a spirit that refuses to be shaken by life's noise. And this stability makes others feel safe around you. This person noticed that even when things go wrong, you don't panic. You breathe. You observe. You evaluate. You find solutions. You maintain emotional discipline, a quality that powerful people value deeply because their world is full of instability. Your presence becomes a stabilizing force they can rely on without questioning. You bring order where others bring confusion. Your peace doesn't come from avoiding problems. It comes from surviving enough storms to know that trouble is temporary. It comes from trusting your spiritual path, your intuition, and your growth. It comes from understanding that frantic energy only blocks clarity. To someone who operates in high-stakes environments, your peace is not only admirable, it's addictive. They start gravitating toward you because your energy regulates theirs. You help them think more clearly, make better decisions, and reflect deeper. You become someone they feel strangely anchored by. They might not know why, but they know they feel more aligned around you than without you. This might be the deepest reason of all: you love differently. Not necessarily romantically, but energetically, spiritually, emotionally. The way you show care is rare. You love with sincerity, with presence, with intention. You don't give half-hearted affection or shallow attention. You give real compassion. You give understanding. You give acceptance. This powerful person is not used to being cared for in this way. People usually approach them with demands, expectations, or admiration. But you approached with humanity. You didn't try to impress them, you tried to understand them. You didn't want anything from them, you simply offered connection. This is something they rarely experience. Your compassion is not weak, it's wise. You care from a place of experience, emotional depth, and spiritual maturity. You know how to love others because you know what it feels like to be unloved, unseen, or misunderstood. Your empathy is powerful enough to soften even the hardest spirits, and this person felt that. They felt seen, valued, and emotionally recognized in a way they hadn't felt in a long time. What fascinates them most is that your compassion doesn't come with attachment. You can care without clinging. You can give without expecting. You can connect without controlling. This kind of unconditional energy is extremely rare, and it's one of the reasons they became obsessed. Your presence reminds them that genuine connection still exists in a world that has become emotionally numb. There is a spiritual sharpening happening inside you, and it's not your imagination. Lately, you've been sensing things faster, feeling shifts quicker, and picking up on energies long before they manifest. This is divine discernment, the chosen one's radar. God is heightening your sensitivity because He's preparing you to walk into higher places where not everything is what it appears to be. You are beginning to detect motives behind words, truth behind smiles, and intentions behind silence. This is not paranoia, this is spiritual awareness. This new depth of discernment can feel overwhelming at times. You may find yourself suddenly uncomfortable in certain environments, even if nothing bad is happening on the surface. That's because your spirit recognizes what your eyes can't see: spiritual contamination, hidden agendas, emotional instability, or unspoken hostility. You walk into a room and feel the atmosphere shift. You talk to someone and feel their true intentions, even if their tone is polite. You're not imagining it. You've simply outgrown superficial perception. Often, this heightened discernment isolates you, not because you want distance, but because your spirit can't tolerate what it once tolerated. You start losing interest in casual conversations, pointless arguments, and shallow relationships. You no longer connect with people who operate in pretense or drama. Your soul craves authenticity because God is shaping you to become an instrument of clarity in a world full of confusion. This is the cost of elevation. Deeper vision always creates more distance. Don't be afraid of this new sensitivity. It is one of your greatest spiritual protections. God is training your eyes to see beyond words, beyond appearances, beyond facades. Discernment is the chosen one's spiritual alarm system. It warns, reveals, exposes, and prepares. It keeps you from walking into traps the enemy hoped you would stumble into. When you feel something is off, trust it. That is not emotion, that is revelation. This new season of discernment is not meant to intimidate you, but to empower you. God is shaping you into someone who can't be deceived, manipulated, or misled. He is equipping you to move with precision, to recognize danger before it reaches you, and to navigate your destiny with wisdom. Embrace your sensitivity. It is divine intelligence disguised as intuition. Chosen ones often misunderstand their hidden season. You may feel overlooked, unappreciated, or ignored, not because you lack value, but because God is preserving you. When heaven hides you, it's never punishment, it is protection. You are not missing opportunities, you are being shielded from premature exposure. God hides what is valuable, not what is worthless. Diamonds are hidden deep underground. Gold is buried in the earth. Rare treasures are locked away. And so are you. Your hidden season may feel frustrating. You see others being celebrated while you remain unseen. You watch people with half your talent receive twice the attention. But what you don't realize is that your growth is happening underground. You are being refined in silence, strengthened in secret, and prepared away from the eyes of those who would mishandle your gift. God is working on you privately because He plans to reveal you publicly, but only when you're ready. Being hidden protects you from sabotage. Not everyone deserves access to your rising. Not everyone can handle your calling. Some people would try to discourage you. Others would try to copy you. And some would try to destroy you before you even begin. God hides you because the wrong audience will misinterpret your beginning, and the right audience is not yet assembled. Your unveiling requires divine timing. Remember this: your hidden season is temporary, but your impact will be permanent. When God decides it's time, no force on earth will be able to ignore you. What took years in private will manifest suddenly in public. People will think you appeared overnight, not realizing heaven was grooming you far from their view. You are not forgotten. You are not delayed. You are not behind. You are being prepared for a stage that requires spiritual maturity, not just talent. Pay attention to your dreams lately. They are not random. You've been receiving spiritual downloads in the night, visions that feel real, warnings that feel urgent, and messages that echo in your spirit long after you wake up. This is because your spiritual channel is open. God communicates with chosen ones directly when He needs their attention, and dreams are one of His clearest languages. When your physical life becomes noisy, He speaks to the quiet part of you, your subconscious. Some dreams are revealing people's true intentions. You may see someone in a way that makes you question the relationship in real life. That's not coincidence. That is divine confirmation. Some dreams are showing you upcoming blessings, symbols of elevation, signs of breakthrough. And some dreams are warnings, flashing red lights telling you to avoid certain paths, certain people, or certain decisions. Your dreams are becoming prophetic because your purpose is becoming urgent. You may wake up feeling drained, emotional, confused, or even heavy. That's because your spirit is doing work while your body rests. You are fighting battles in the spiritual realm that never manifest physically because God is protecting you before the attack even reaches you. This is spiritual warfare at its purest, unseen victories happening in silence. Don't ignore the signs. Don't dismiss the dreams that feel too real. They are messages, not imaginations. The pressure you're feeling is not random, it's spiritual labor. When a major blessing is about to be delivered, the enemy increases resistance, frustration, and emotional turbulence. This is why everything feels heavier, why unexpected obstacles appear, why people suddenly act strange, and why your peace feels tested from every direction. This is not a sign that God is absent. It's a sign that breakthrough is near. Faith grows strongest under tension. When you have nothing to rely on except God, that's when you experience Him most powerfully. When everything around you feels uncertain, that's when your spirit anchors deeper. The test is not designed to break you, it's designed to prove you. Promotion requires pressure. Elevation requires endurance. The blessing you prayed for requires the version of you that God is shaping through this trial. In this season, the enemy hopes you'll give up right before the breakthrough arrives. That's why the attacks feel personal. That's why the delays feel intentional. That's why the emotions feel louder than usual. He wants you exhausted, discouraged, and confused. But heaven wants you focused, steadfast, and spiritually awake. The battle intensifies when the victory is near. This is a divine pattern you must remember. This is the moment your soul has been waiting for. You are stepping out of who you were and into who you were always meant to become. God is transitioning you into a season where everything aligns: your purpose, your identity, your relationships, your spiritual gifts, your growth, and your destiny. This is not a small shift. This is a divine repositioning. You are moving from survival to authority, from confusion to clarity, from isolation to assignment. This transition may feel uncomfortable because every elevation requires letting go. Letting go of old habits, old thinking patterns, old friendships, old fears, and old versions of yourself. You cannot step into a promised land while holding onto a wilderness mentality. God is renewing your mind, stretching your spirit, and upgrading your identity. You are not becoming someone new. You are remembering who you were before life tried to break you. You will notice divine alignment everywhere. Doors that stayed closed for years will suddenly open. Resources you lacked will suddenly appear. People who belong in your destiny will enter effortlessly, while those who don't will fade without drama. Opportunities will begin chasing you instead of you chasing them. This is not luck. This is divine timing. You planted seeds in tears, and now God is ready to reward you in abundance. You are entering a season where the grace on your life will speak louder than your words. Your presence will carry authority. Your ideas will flow with clarity. Your steps will be guided naturally. This is the life God intended for you, a life of spiritual strength, emotional peace, and divine purpose. You will finally see why you had to endure so much, why God separated you, why He hid you, why He tested you, and why He elevated you in silence. This is your divine transition, the moment heaven aligns with earth on your behalf. Walk boldly, walk fearlessly, walk with spiritual confidence. The life God prepared for you is not ahead, it has already begun.